You guys remember that story if you were here? But we were there yesterday praying with him. And I have the faith that he's going to become healed, that he's going to get healed. And he's going to walk again. He's going to be able to talk again and do everything again. And I sit there and I think about Smith Wigglesworth that used to grab people up out of their deathbed when they were dead, grab them up, throw them on the wall, and say, rise again, walk. Come back from the dead. And if they fall down, he'd pick them up again. Say, walk. And he'd command them out of his tongue to walk. And eventually it could be the third, fourth, fifth time. And they come back to life. He'd punch somebody in the stomach that had maybe a cancer in their stomach and the cancer would be gone. But it was by his faith. It wasn't about the things that he did. But he had the faith to pull him up. Knowing there's people around going, I just can't imagine. Just knowing that if something would to happen, they didn't, how embarrassed he'd be. How horrible would that look? But the reason it came to pass is because he had the faith. There was no doubt in his mind. He had gotten so far away from Satan that Satan couldn't doubt him of that. Because he had the faith in the power of God to do it. I was sitting there in front of him thinking about that. Wow. And then you know what crosses my head? Man, what if I picked him up and did that and he didn't come to life? He didn't come back to and start walking. What if? There it was. There's where my faith was. Is my faith wasn't where it needed to be in order to do that. Because my faith had doubt. Because Satan has come to lie to us. To say it can't happen. But we have a God that is so powerful that he can create the earth, make the earth spin. Why can't we wrap our minds around and say, get up and walk? How much easier is that for God to do that than it is to create all of this? But we have to get to that point in our lives. If Christians would get to the place God wanted us to be, where would the earth be right now? Where would we be? That we can stand up, get up and walk. Get out of that wheelchair, rise up. We can pick them up and say, you're walking, throw that wheelchair aside. And they would walk because of our faith and where our faith needs to be. That he confessed it with his tongue and things happened. That he confessed it, his faith was so strong that they couldn't believe for their healing when they were dead. But his faith was so strong that they would come back from the dead. That's where I want to be with God. That's where I want to be with God. Not that I can say, wow, look what I'm doing. Or wow, look what God's doing in my life. But so that others can see it and go, wow, there's something I want to have what he has. I want to turn my life over to God because God is all-powerful. God is the healer, the ruler, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. And that's where he wants us to be. Amen? Amen. Okay, because the words of faith release the power of God. When you have words of faith in your mouth coming out, the power is released of God. Because we have that faith that has been built up in our hearts. Words of doubt, hatred, criticism, unbelief release Satan's power. As we're unbelieving, as we're saying stuff, well, I really wish I wonder if he's ever going to come back. I wonder if he's ever going to be able to walk again. I wonder, it's words of doubt. It's Satan's power because it's power knowing that it's not going to come to pass. Because you don't really believe it's going to come to pass when you have that doubt in your mind. Words are power, whether you're speaking them or listening to them. As you listen to music, you're listening to horrible thoughts, horrible things going into your head all day. It is powerful because your mind starts revolving around that. Your mind starts thinking about it because of the words that are going into your head. They can change your life forever, guys. Words can change your life in a positive or a negative aspect. You know what? Think about things you've done in the past that's changed everything. Think of the things you said to a boss that you lost your job. To a friend, a family member that maybe you don't talk to anymore. Or that there's negative relationships somewhere because of the things you've said. You could have lost it all because you said something wrong. Because you confessed something negative out of your mouth instead of speaking Christ-like. Because we are in the image of Christ. So we need to act like that, roll like that, live like that. Guys, you control your own destiny with your words. You control the destiny of your life. You control tomorrow with your own words. So how are you going to start living your future? How are you going to walk out the rest of your days? I want you to think about this message. Later on today, tomorrow, throughout the week. Every time you go to speak something, think about what you're saying. Is it showing a godly aspect? Is it showing of somebody that is in the image of Christ? Are you a living example of Christ? That when somebody listens to what you're saying, are they going, wow, you can tell he's a Christian? Are they saying, is he really calling himself Christian? Or, wow, if that's the faith that he has, being a Christian, living for God, he don't have any more faith than I do. He talks like that, whatever it is, guys. I ask you to take that challenge. And every word you speak, remember this sermon. Remember what God has said. How powerful your tongue is. Amen?
Amen.
Let's pray.